Pigs might look cute and funny on the outside, rolling in mud, making silly noises, and eating non-stop. But behind that harmless image is one of the hardest lives you can imagine. And that takes us into our first chapter of their struggles. Born into crowds. A piglet's life begins in a crowd because a mother pig doesn't just have 1 or 2 babies, she gives birth to a whole litter, sometimes more than 10 at once. The pen fills instantly, with tiny pink bodies squealing and bumping into each other, and before they can even open their eyes properly, they're already pushing toward their mother. From that very first moment, it isn't calm or gentle. It's a scramble for space and milk, and only the strongest piglets reach a good spot. Each piglet has only seconds to grab a spot on the mother's belly, and the ones that move fast lock on tight like they own it. Once a strong piglet latches, it doesn't let go, pushing with its legs and blocking anyone else from getting close. The smaller ones don't stand a chance. They get shoved to the side, knocked off balance, and left squealing as they try to squeeze back in. But there aren't enough spots for everyone, and if a piglet can't hold one, its chances of surviving start dropping right away. And just when the piglets are already fighting each other for milk, another danger shows up right above them, their mother. She's huge compared to their tiny bodies, and when she moves, she doesn't always see where her babies are. If she lies down the wrong way, a piglet under her can get crushed before it even has a chance to grow. Farmers sometimes put up bars in the pen or keep watch to stop it, but accidents still happen. And when it does, it's usually the weaker piglets that don't make it out. And if fighting for milk and dodging their own mom's weight wasn't bad enough, they also have to deal with the cold. Piglets can't keep themselves warm, so they all pile together in one squealing bundle. The strong ones wiggle into the warm middle, and the weak ones get shoved to the edge, shaking like they're waiting for a bus in winter. The unlucky ones stay stuck on the outside, and after a few days of cold and hunger, some simply don't survive. So being born a pig doesn't come with comfort or safety. From the very start, it's a noisy scramble where every piglet has to push just to hold a spot. The strong ones squeeze in and manage to hang on, while the weaker ones get shoved aside before they even have a real chance to grow. And that rough beginning is only the start of what's waiting for them. Constant hunger and forced growth. A piglet that survives those first tough weeks doesn't get much of a break. As soon as it can stand and chew, humans step in with their plan. Keep feeding it and keep feeding it fast. The goal isn't to let the pig grow healthy and steady, but to fatten it up as quickly as possible, even if its body can't handle the weight piling on. The farmer doesn't bring grass or natural feed from outside. Instead, he dumps buckets filled with cheap grain and leftover scraps from the house. The pigs rush in, pushing their heads together like kids fighting for candy, and they eat as fast as they can. Their stomachs get full, but it's not food that keeps them healthy. It's the kind that just makes their bodies grow bigger and heavier, faster than their legs can keep up. Pigs love food, so at first eating all the time feels like the best part of life, but the more they chew, the faster their bodies swell up. Their bellies get big, their backs get heavy, and soon those skinny legs are left holding way more weight than they were ever built for. It's like loading too many bags of rice on a cart with shaky wheels. You can push it for a while, but sooner or later, the whole thing starts wobbling. That's what happens to pigs. Their legs ache, their joints strain, and still the feeding never slows. Even when they look satisfied, they keep on eating because pigs never say no to food. The pens don't make life any better. With no space to move and nothing to do, the pigs spend their days eating and lying down. Each week, their bodies get heavier, and for some, even standing up starts to feel like hard work. They push themselves up slowly, only to flop back onto the floor, breathing heavy as if they just ran a race. But before they can rest, another round of food is dropped in front of them. It's like being trapped in a never-ending eating contest, where the only reward is carrying more weight on legs that are already tired. By the time weeks turn into months, the pig isn't growing in the way nature planned. It's growing in the way people planned, with speed and size valued over comfort and health. And that sets us up for the next part of their struggle. Animal prison, disguised as sweet home. Most pigs never see open fields in their whole life. They're born inside pens and kept there until the end. The walls keep them locked in, and everywhere they turn, it's just more pigs packed right next to them. The pen they live in smells the same every single day. And if they had a choice, they'd be out exploring. But that choice is always taken away by us humans. What makes it really unfair is that so many pigs are packed into one tight pen. As they grow bigger, the space feels smaller, and moving around gets harder. The floor doesn't stay clean either. It quickly gets covered with waste, and when the pigs roll over to rest, their skin gets dirty with the same waste they've been stepping on all day. Pigs really do love rolling in mud, but the problem is the kind of mud they get. Out in the wild, it's soft soil mixed with water that cools their skin and keeps bugs away. But in human-made pens, the mud is usually just poop mixed with waste and a little water. They still roll in it because they need relief from the heat, but it barely cools them down, and it leaves them dirty and covered in bacteria that makes them unhealthy. And once that waste builds up on their skin, it sticks to them like it's part of their body, and they start smelling really bad, which makes flies to follow them everywhere, and with nowhere to go, they have no choice than to sleep and eat in the mess. And if life in the pen wasn't already tough, breeding brings in a whole new struggle that pigs can't escape. Painful breeding cycle. For a female pig, life doesn't slow down after giving birth. The moment her body recovers a little, humans push her straight back into the cycle again. She's made pregnant, she delivers a litter, and before her body even has time to heal once more, the process starts all over. There's no break, no pause, just round after round of breeding. The sad part is, when the piglets are born, the mother doesn't get to keep them for long. After just a few weeks, people take them away, even while they're still looking for milk. The mother is left behind, and the little time she had with her babies is cut short. The mother pig doesn't just lose her strength with every cycle. She also loses her place as an animal that should have a life of her own. She becomes nothing more than a tool that's pushed until she breaks. And when the body is worn out and the babies are gone, the question is, what comes next in a life built on control? Smart, but ignored. Pigs aren't dumb animals, as many people may think. In fact, they're way smarter than most dogs. They can solve puzzles, remember places, and even learn tricks if anyone bothered to teach them, just like dogs. But instead of getting treated like the smart animals they are, they're shoved into pens where their brains have nothing to do other than eating and sleeping. All that intelligence just sits there wasted, like a phone on full charge left in a drawer. When pigs stay locked in the same pen every single day, they run out of things to do fast. There's no grass to sniff through, no space to wander, and nothing new to keep their minds busy. So they turn to whatever is in front of them. Some press their teeth into the metal bars and keep chewing until their mouths ache. Others start snapping at the ears of the pigs beside them, not because they want to fight, but because boredom leaves them with nothing else to focus on. After enough days of the same dull routine, that boredom doesn't just stay in their heads, it starts to wear down their health too. Pigs get restless, pacing back and forth until their legs ache, or they stop moving altogether and just lie in one spot, looking drained. Some lose weight because the stress kills their appetite, while others eat even more just to cope. Either way, the boredom doesn't stay harmless. It twists into stress, and that stress sticks with them every single day they're locked inside those pens. It's so funny that pigs are smart enough to play games, solve problems, and even outthink dogs, but instead of being treated like clever animals, they're stuck wasting their brains chewing bars and fighting boredom like prisoners with nothing to do. Well, is rather unfortunate. Short life and hard ending. Most pigs don't live long enough to even see what old age looks like. On farms, many are taken before they reach their first birthday. 1 year old, that's it. For people, that's still baby pictures and first steps. For pigs, it's already the end of the line. Some pigs just don't grow the way farmers want. They stay smaller, or they fall sick while the others keep getting bigger. When that happens, the farmer doesn't bother feeding them much anymore. Instead, those pigs might get sold off cheap, or simply pushed aside as the stronger ones eat. And here's the rough part. Pigs never get to grow old naturally. There's no gray hair, no retirement where they lie in the sun and grunt in peace. They're either fattened up and sent away young to be turned into meat, or forced through pregnancy after pregnancy until their bodies finally give out. So when you look at the life of a pig, there's no soft landing anywhere. From birth to the end, every step is a struggle, which makes their life one of the hardest anyone could leave. Thank you for watching Tough Life Chronicles. Please subscribe to our channel and maybe leave a like too. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.